So today I'm going to talk to you about something which I is very new to me actually, and you can probably see behind me what it is, and that is Codex. So hopefully you can see that in the video. So what is Codex and why do I want to talk about it? So I've got a description of Codex here. So Codex most commonly refers to OpenAI's AI coding and workflow agent designed for software engineering and complex automation. It operates across files, tools, and repeatable workflows to independently write code, fix bugs, and control desktop applications. So it sounds a bit technical for a lot of people, including myself at the start. So Codex is something which I came across probably about 2 weeks ago now, and I think I only really came across Codex because I'm on X. And the value or the main benefit of being on X for me is really to keep my finger on the pulse in terms of AI and how it's developing, because the mainstream media, they are just not up to speed with all of the developments of AI. And really, you get a lot of founders, a lot of developers, tech heads on X, and it's really a fascinating community to be a part of. And to be honest, that's the only reason why I'm a member of X. Otherwise, I don't quite like it as a platform. But anyway, my point is that I came across Codex about a couple of weeks ago, and it looks very similar to the ChatGPT app. So if you're on a MacBook, and I'm sure it's the same on Windows, um, if you if you open the Codex app, it looks quite similar to ChatGPT in terms of the layout. But the main difference with Codex is, as that description says, it's really helpful for workflows and coding and things like that. So my first interaction with actually using Codex was converting a spreadsheet. Basically, I'd made an app, made some data in Airtable, and if you know Airtable, basically it's like an online spreadsheet, super smart spreadsheet. And what I did was I had all these different columns, and then at the far right, I had a column full of photos that I was uploading, and it was just to present it to the client. In each row there was a different photo. But I don't have an Airtable subscription, so a paid subscription. So the first challenge I came across was when I downloaded this CSV or the Excel file. Obviously, the images don't load in the Excel file, and I wanted to share this, or at least a sample of what I was working on, with my client. So what I did was I literally downloaded the CSV file, and then when I downloaded the CSV file, I saw all the image links. So instead of the photos, I saw the image links, because when you upload a photo to Airtable, it gives you a link. So then what I did with Codex now, this is, I think, probably the first task I did. I dragged that spreadsheet file into Codex, and I asked it to pull the images into the spreadsheet and to create a PDF. And I did it not knowing the full capabilities of Codex, and I still don't know the full capabilities of Codex. But I was absolutely blown away when a few minutes later it gave me a PDF file with all the photos as thumbnails in the spreadsheet, and the layout was exactly what I wanted. Yes, it needed a bit of tweaks in terms of the text and things like that, but it was like 90% there. And I was absolutely blown away by that. And it's something which ChatGPT can't do. And it's something which saves me a huge amount of time, because this spreadsheet, I probably had about 80 photos in there. So for me to have done that in Excel and then turn it into a PDF and all of that and make sure the page breaks and the layouts were okay, it would have taken me ages. But this did it in a few minutes. And that really was my first introduction to Codex. It really blew me away. The other thing which also was interesting is that it works locally. So it basically has a folder on your computer, and for those projects it creates folders, and you can put file it creates those folders with files in it, and you can essentially add your own files to that folder and reference Codex to that folder. So it makes it a lot more intelligent than ChatGPT, whereas with ChatGPT, you have to drag and drop the files in, and then it will, you have to refer to that file and things like that. ChatGPT doesn't work locally, whereas Codex does in part. So that really was my first introduction to Codex. Now, as someone who has a lot of ideas, a lot of business ideas, Codex is like a godsend in terms of being able to test ideas and things like that. So what I did last week Friday or Saturday, is I had an idea that I just wanted to make a website where people could upload their AI tools, a bit like a directory almost, but sort of to gamify it a bit. So if you're launching a new AI tool, you could submit it on there, the name of the tool, who you are, a bit of a bio about the tool. Um, includes descriptions in their YouTube videos and things like that. And where I want to take it is that eventually I'll be interviewing some of these people and having them on this channel and then on the website as well. So anyway, I came up with this concept. It's not rocket science. And I just asked Codex if it was, well, I asked ChatGPT first if it was possible for Codex to do. And then I did it and I started putting the prompt into Codex. Now, fast forward a week later. So today is Saturday. So last night, actually bang on a week, the website's now live. And hopefully I'll be able to show you soon on here. The website's now live. I haven't got anyone using it, but I've got 100 tools on there, which you can have a look at. You can sort of rate them as well, and you can submit your own tools. And there's also a payment platform in there. So Stripe is integrated. So if you're not happy with the free listing, you can get a paid listing, which gives you a bit more in terms of rich features. Now, this is not a website which is going to make huge amounts of money. I know that, but it was just very interesting to see that I could go from idea to execution extremely quickly. Now, to give you a bit of an idea, I haven't got a coding background. I'm a surveyor, so I inspect buildings for a living, and that's what my business is based on. I don't do any coding. In fact, the last time I tried coding was probably a few years ago. I was trying to learn Python, but I just got busy with work. But I didn't get very far, to be honest. Um, and then before that, when I was maybe 15 or actually no, probably about 13, I was learning HTML. Okay, fine. Back then I could make websites and I was using Dreamweaver. That will take you back quite some time ago. And things like that. But I wouldn't call myself a developer at all. I've been doing my profession, surveying, for about 11 years now. So I'm not a developer at all. Um, so I put together this website. It's fully functioning. It's got dashboards. It's got a nice user interface. The UX is probably not the best, but it's a fully functioning website with payment facilities. And all I did was really use natural language to put this all together. I have not typed in one bit of code, and that's the remarkable thing about it. Um, I just literally say, I want this, I want that, do this, do that, change this, change that, and it will run. Um, it will run, it will run, and it will do it. It will do it, and it's absolutely breathtaking for me to see something come to fruition so easily within such a short space of time. And that really is the power of Codex, one of the many powers of Codex. The fact that you're able to go from idea to execution very quickly. Now, for me, as someone who comes with a lot of ideas, it's fantastic because I can validate those ideas quite quickly. So with Founder Built, which is the name of the tool that I've built, that is now up and it's now live. It's now ready to use, and I already have other ideas of other things that I want to develop. And I know that probably within a week or two, I can have something up very quickly. Whereas in the past, actually last year, I was speaking to a developer to get a website up, and very nice guy and everything, and quite understandably charging a good amount of money, thousands, just to get the concept going. Now I don't need that. And I think this is really the huge benefit of something like Codex, is that anybody can launch something, create something, launch it without the need of having to pay consultants, coders, whatever, to develop an MVP. And you can do it very quickly. It won't be perfect, but you can do it very quickly. And it's in that process that you as a founder will be able to see whether actually this is a valid idea, or whether this is the right path for you to go down this sort of development route, so to say. So for me, that's really been the benefit of Codex. And again, I'll try and get the tool up here so you can have a look. Now, being I think it's a fairly new platform. I don't know much about it. They are constantly adding updates, and that's absolutely fantastic. But I'm going to talk to you now about probably some of the challenges of Codex. Now, I think first and foremost, I don't consider myself a developer just because I've made a tool that's online, or an app, whatever you want to call it. I don't consider myself a developer. Far from it. Far, far from it. I've just simply used natural language to put something together, and it's worked. Now, the problem with something like Codex, or okay, not the problem, but one of the things to consider, and there's a few things to consider actually with Codex, is that I don't think it replaces a coder. Uh, and I say that because I have, throughout this process of working daily on this alongside my business, alongside my family, it seems to agree with you for everything. And I'm like, wow, this is the best idea in the world. But it seems to agree with you for everything. But also, it makes mistakes. There were, and probably still are, countless bugs in it, which are going to take a bit of time for me to figure out, because again, I have no coding background. And one of the things it did was um, basically, I wanted everyone to have user accounts who submits the tools to the website. And it would just do things like it would create the backend, but none of the links would be working. Things wouldn't flow together. There were errors here, there, and everywhere. Like, it got the user interface there, but a lot of links weren't being made. And it was quite messy, to be honest, working across Vercel, GitHub, and gosh, my memory's gone blank, and Supabase. Um, so it's been a learning curve for me, but it undoubtedly created a few errors and things like that, and it took me. It didn't take me a while to figure the things out because I just asked it, or I asked ChatGPT. But I don't think it replaces coders just yet. I think it reduces your dependency on them, your reliance on them. But I think if it's used by a coder, or you get someone who knows how to code and you're building this thing alongside them, that's where you unlock the real power of something like Codex. Because they're experienced, they're able to give more specific instructions, and they're able to address those things probably a lot, not quicker than Codex can, but they have the experience, they have the perspective to make sure everything comes together properly. Whereas sometimes with Codex, it felt like it was just building, 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 but not cleaning up the mess that it left behind, or the mess that it came across. And that's sometimes the things that I came across. And no doubt, when people are using this website, I don't expect this to be a hands-off website where I just leave it and you know, nothing goes wrong. People will find bugs. Um, but yeah, I think it's definitely something which doesn't replace coders, and would have been a heck of a lot easier if I had someone, or if I had a coding background or experience in coding, to actually figure out what is actually going wrong here. And then the second part to Codex, which I found was a bit of a challenge, were the usage limits. So I'm on a ChatGPT Pro subscription, so I pay about $20 a month, and I'm not criticizing it at all. Like, it's amazing to be able to use Codex for that cheap. To be honest, um, it really is amazing. But I kept running into usage limits. So you have a weekly usage limit, and I think it's a daily usage limit. So you can only essentially use Codex for so long during the day until you have to wait for, I think, the tokens to refresh or the usage to refresh, and then you get some more time to work with it. Now, for me, that wasn't really a problem as such because, as I said, I have a business. Um, I've got other things to be doing. Probably shouldn't be playing with Codex. So it's not really a problem for me as such. But if you are building a big project using it, I can imagine how frustrating it is. And for me, it was frustrating a couple of times because you're just about to think, yeah, I'm almost there. Now I can launch it. And then you're like, oh, there's this bug. And then you have to wait. I think it's like 2 3 hours you have to wait. And then in the meantime, I'm just like, maybe I just upgrade to the plus model and get, I think it's what, $90 a month. And then there's another one which is $200 a month, and you get 5 and 20 times the usage. And it just really tempts you into upgrading. But then after looking through X, I'm like, actually, it's probably not that worth it. And I've got other things to be getting on with, so I'm not going to upgrade. But that is one of the frustrating parts if you are using this as a professional tool to actually build things. Um, it's something which will probably frustrate you quite a bit, actually. So that's the second thing. But what I did with that, and it's quite interesting because up until about, I would say Thursday, up until a couple of days ago, it wasn't really that really didn't bother me too much. But then because I just wanted, I was, to be honest, I was fed up. I was too tired of going into these different things and Supabase and Vercel, and I was just like, I just want to launch this thing. I'm just tired. Um, so uh, after a while, I ran into this usage limit a couple of days ago. It kept happening, and I looked on X, and people are saying there's an issue with the usage limits, and OpenAI have done this and done that, and people are saying this and people saying that. I didn't know what to believe, so I just got fed up. To be honest, I actually got fed up, and then I'm like, I can't wait this long. I just want to get this thing launched. So what I did was I used Hermes, uh, the agent. If you've heard of OpenClaw, you've heard of Hermes. It's taking everything over pretty much in terms of popularity. And I just used that alongside it whilst I was waiting for my usage limit to refresh. So towards the latter stages of finalizing Founder Built, um, I just used Hermes to do the tweaking here, tweaking there, and you know what? It was absolutely fantastic. And the beauty of it was that I was just using it from my phone because I've got Telegram on my phone and it connects to Hermes, and it just connects to the website, and it was able to make all the changes that I wanted whilst the usage limit was refreshing for Codex. So that is a bit of a workaround for someone. Again, I'm not a coder, so I don't know how to do these things in the meantime. So I improvise, I use Hermes, and I was able to do it. It's fantastic. So that is one of the challenges, but it's also what I like. These challenges and just generally challenges, they create opportunities. You just need to look for the opportunities. So that's what I used in the end, uh, just to sort of get it over the line, and then eventually the codex limit refreshed, and I was able to finalize everything. So that's really, I mean, that's really all I have to say about sort of codex. Absolutely phenomenal tool, um, and I will definitely keep using it, and I 100% recommend it to you as a business owner or professional. If you have access to these tools and if you can use them, 100% use them. Because for me as a business owner, taking all the fun tools and things I'm going to be making, taking all of that stuff away. For me as a business owner, sorry about the noise. For me as a, as a business owner, this is quite revolutionary because there are certain subscriptions that I have which, if I spend enough time using Codex, I can get rid of those subscriptions. One of those subscriptions cost me about £170 a month, which is, I don't know, $190 or $200 a month. I'm waiting for I'm waiting to be able to cancel that subscription, and then I'll be developing my own version of that software using Codex, and I'm only paying £20 a month or $20 a month. So you can see how powerful Codex is, and how it's going to transform a lot of businesses. I think we're going to move into a time for at least small and medium-sized businesses where there isn't a lot of rigidity, where businesses will essentially build their own tools, and create their own standards rather than paying hefty subscriptions for things which are great and they work, but you have to keep going back to a development team to get things changed. Or if you want it bespoke, you have to go on an enterprise plan and things like that. I think the way businesses are going to work is going to change, and you're probably going to have one or two people in your business who just help you with Codex or with whatever software you have. And it's going to save businesses a lot of money. It's going to make people more productive, and I'm very optimistic about it. Now, Codex isn't the only tool. There are other tools, but this is the one which has been good to me so far. So we're at that point in the video where I have to do the obligatory like and subscribe, please, and all of that. But I'm also going to show you the tool that I've built, Founder built, and hopefully you can check it out, see if you like it, and I'm always open to feedback. As I said, I'm not a coder developer, so I won't take offense to things. So yeah, let's jump into it. Right, so this is the tool which I built. It's called Founder Built, and as I said to you before, this is entirely built. It's been entirely or mostly built, 98% built with Codex and a bit with Hermes. So this is basically it. You've got this. This is the home page, and basically discover tools built by AI tools built by founders. Now you've got a bit of a description here, and then on the right here, we've got this sort of pulsating green icon, and it basically shows you the activity. So 60 tools. Again, actually, I think this is wrong. I think there's 100. So there we go. Thank you, Codex. Launches this week, 60 launches. Clicks, 68, and 2 loves. And this shows basically the 7-day activity of the website of basically the activity points, and you'll see what I mean later in the video. Then we scroll down. This shows basically the recently listed tools, what's trending this week. So you can see that on the right hand side, so you've got NanoClaw, for example, and then you can see on the right hand side, it's had 2 likes. Then you've got Clean Voice, it's had, I think, 3 likes. Is that no? Sorry, it's been on for 2 weeks. See, I haven't looked through this website properly. That should probably be removed. It's been on there for 2 or 3 weeks. That's wrong, and so that's wrong. These haven't been on there for that long, but this is right. So most loved. So NanoClaw, because NanoClaw is something which I was using before, and I still like it. It's still very good, and I've basically liked it twice. Or loved it twice, whereas the others I haven't loved. So that's really the idea behind Founder Built. It gives you sort of overview of the various tools and how many people love those tools. Now, if you scroll down, you can see that there's a leaderboard, a trending leaderboard. Now, this is working from memory. So you've got NanoClaw, which is first, and it's had 2 clicks. Again, I need to get this clarified, and it's been loved twice. And then you have all of these other tools here, and there's, if you click view all, you'll see that there are more. Now, one of the things which was quite impressive where I used Hermes was I had to get logos for each of these companies, and I just asked Hermes to do it. It put it into folders, labeled each image, and was able to push them through to the website and updated it. I didn't have to lift a finger, which is absolutely remarkable. So if we click into, let's say, NanoClaw, it'll load. There you go. This is basically a free listing. So you get two types of listings, a free listing and a premium listing. This is a free listing. And you can see this is the category, it's agents. You can see that it's free, and you can see that it's built by NanoClaw, and this is the founders or one of the founders. You've also got a bit of a description here. As it says here, this is a free listing, so this profile includes the core details submitted for review. Premium profiles can include richer founder context, tool stories, videos, screenshots, links, updates, use cases, and FAQs. So essentially, if you get the premium version of this, or founder built, you get more of a rich description, more content on here, which will probably help you a bit with your SEO. Then on the right hand side, you've got a bit of a tool profile, which again just gives you a bit of an idea that this is tells you again that it's a free listing and sort of repeats what's here. Except here you can click into X. These are X links to the founder's profile. And then here, if you click visit website, excuse me, it will open the NanoClaw website. And then down here, this sort of says, what you can get from upgrading. And again, this is something which I've built in about a week. And obviously the text and a few things need to be tidied up, but that gives you an idea of what a free listing looks like. Now, if we go back, I just wanted to show you something as well. So this has got two loves, and I don't think I can click it again because I've already clicked it. But let's say if we go to clean voice and give it some love. There we go. It's got one love, one heart. So yeah, that's basically how it works. And then you can see it pulls through to here. And then here you can see there's a couple of apps where Hermes was unable to get the logo, presumably. So I probably need to try again or look for them manually. But you can view, the latest launches here as well. Then you've got the top rated tools, community loves plus launch momentum. So you've got Clean Voice and NanoClaw. These are basically top rated. Then you have all these categories, which probably need to be refined, to be fair, because you've got, for example, productivity is quite a broad category. You could argue that all of these are productivity tools in some shape or form. But then you've got, for example, writing and then AI writing. It's probably need to tighten up the categories a bit, but let's say you click into productivity. Okay, great, no tools. But there will be one for, let's say, nope, no tools there. Which ones have the tools in them? Is it coding? There we go. AI coding tools. And then you can see a list of the coding tools which have been uploaded to Founderbuilt, and you can see how much love they've received. So let's see, let's go back. I can already see an error. No, okay, so fine. That gives you an idea of all the coding tools that are on the website. So going back down, Founder Spotlight. So what I'm going to do here is I really want to start interviewing people who have created these tools. So my offer really to all of you is that anyone who submits a tool on here, we're going to have it, it's up to you. We can do a YouTube video with you and then get you up on here, let's say for a few days at a time. We'll record a YouTube video, a bit like a podcast, and then you can have a bit of a spotlight on you. and hopefully that will help with your traffic. Newsletter. Newsletter is not live, to be fair. There's something I need to set up. There's a bit of a confusion that Codex has created a newsletter and a blog. Really, I just wanted the blog, not the newsletter at the moment. But the newsletter will be powerful. Obviously, you can subscribe, and then if you are a founder, then we'll stick your tool in it. You can sponsor the newsletter, and it'll get pushed to our audience. And this is the founder-built blog, where we've got one blog post at the moment, but there'll be ones going up pretty much every day or every 2 days. And it needs a bit of work. One thing I didn't like the Codex, it hasn't been able to create an easy blogging system for me. So, for example, when you upload this blog post, there's no sort of editing features or anything like that. It's very basic. It's literally like a text box. So that's something which I'm sort of banging my head against, because I would like to have a sort of user interface to make things bold, link things and all of that, rather than using code or anything. But yeah, and making it a bit more attractive, because at the moment it looks a bit bland. But with these blog posts, I do try and inject a bit of my experience as well, where I've used these tools. So for example, I've said here that Whisperflow is one of the most practical AI tools I've used recently. And this is me, writing a bit of this, because I do use Whisperflow and I love Whisperflow. But I haven't used, for example, Granola. But where possible, I will try and inject a bit of my experience with using these tools as well. And then at the bottom, you can submit your tool. So you can put your various details and you can submit a free listing. And then you are good to go. You are good to go. Now, you can also, if you wanted to, you can get a premium listing, as I said. It's still experimenting with the price point, but you can essentially go premium, $19 a month, and you'll get a lot more in terms of features and things like that. And that will connect to Stripe, and then you can cancel or whatever, all that fancy stuff. So that is essentially founder built. And again, this was built with Codex, a bit of Hermes as well. And that just shows you a very, very small insight as to what is possible. So if that's been of help to you, then please let me know. If there's any questions you have, please let me know in the comments. I'm not trying to sell you anything. I think that's the main thing. This website is really just for fun, and it'll be updated daily, and hopefully give you all out there who are founders a bit of a platform to boost the recognition of your tools. But yeah, that's pretty much it for me from now, and I will see you in the next video.